Hey, guess what?
What?
Our Airstream got fixed.
It did!
We get to go home tomorrow.
Can't wait to tell you guys all about it.
Oh, great. It's going to be a great video.
It's
and we have
great.
surprises for you, too.
And,
Right?
and
We have surprises.
I think that we could safely say right now that Airstream support at Jackson Center is...
The bomb.
They're so good. They're so good. They're so smart.
Okay, can we go back to the hotel?
Yeah, sure.
Exit right to exit 102, State Route 274 toward New Bremen, Jackson Center. Then turn right on State Route 274.
So we picked up our trailer at the Airstream repair
Dealership
support.
repair service center. That's it.
Yeah, the service center. I just can't talk because it's too early. I haven't had enough coffee yet. Where are we going?
Home.
Yay, we're going home. It's going to take us about 8 hours to get home. So we'll be talking to you along the way.
About 470 miles.
Yeah, about that. It was totally worth it. Absolutely.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Well, you're driving.
You got to kill it.
I'm just.
Well, I mean, turn it off. Okay.
I'm just holding the camera. You're driving. It's stage fright.
Here goes nothing.
Here we go. Hey, so what are we doing?
Heading home.
From what? A camping trip?
Jackson Center, Ohio.
So not a camping trip.
No.
No. So we went to Jackson Center, Ohio, because that is where the Airstream factory is, and they have a big service center there, and we needed some warranty work done. And so we are heading back now. We thought we'd give you a little bit of a recap of how it works. So we had a few things that needed to be done. We had, first and foremost, we had a 12-volt issue. That was kind of weird, but not weird. Some of our 12-volt stuff worked and some of it didn't. So we kind of figured out it was a short with the help of DJ from Broken Rivet in Virginia. He kind of took a look around and figured out that it was a short. So thanks, DJ. And it was. Anyway, so we had a couple other minor things, like nothing really big, but that should have been taken care of under warranty support, that if it wasn't under warranty, we would have done it ourselves. Anyway, so the 12-volt thing was a big deal. So this is the process. So the first thing that you do is you submit a ticket online. And this may be similar for other brands as well. You know, I don't know. I can tell you about experience with Airstream service. So you submit a ticket online and almost immediately a service advisor will email you back asking what it is that you need to have done. And so I sent the list, and knowing that the 12-volt issue was the biggest thing, That was the top of the list. I knew that they would make sure that the technician was skilled with electrical. So they then they were scheduling 3 months out, which was fine because it was what we needed to have done, and the issues that we were having didn't prevent us from using the trailer. So we spent the summer camping, and now it's October. So the next thing you have to do is decide whether you can get there on the day of your appointment or whether you're going to come the day before. And for us, it's an 8-hour drive. So we came the day before, and they have a little camping area with full hookups. It's not a campground. It's not a destination. It's just a place where you can be with full hookups. It's called the Terraport. And there are like 24, there's 3 little circles. There's 24 spots. And so on Wednesday, we pulled in, picked a spot, left the trailer, went to a hotel. You can stay in your trailer. They don't mind that. They will pick up the trailer somewhere between 7 and 7:30 every morning, and they'll bring it back anywhere between 3:30 and 4:30 every afternoon. We were thinking that if they needed it for a couple of days, I didn't want to be in it. I wanted them to feel that they could take their time, and they didn't have to worry about us needing to like live in the trailer while it was being worked on. The day of your appointment, you check in at the service center. Service advisor gives you a number to put on your jack post. And then they come and they'll trailer it around to one of the service bays. Our service technician then came out at, it's like 7:45. They give you very explicit instructions. So at 7:45 he came out and he brought us back into the service bay, and we walked through the whole punch list. And then he told us, come back no later than 3:30. I said, great, no problem. We went about our business. So fast forward to 3:30, we came back to the service center, and our technician came out, brought us back into the service bay, and walked through the whole list, and it was done. And he had finished early, so he actually swept out the trailer. So that was pretty great. And that was it. It was really painless. It was literally less than 8 hours. It took him less than 8 hours to do all of the things on the list. We have 6 things on the list. And now they work as a team. So he was the primary technician, but he might have had help, which is great. And that's what helps get the trailers out the door, everything fixed and out the door. So that was good. So I think what really impressed us was how Corey troubleshooted. Is that a word?
Isn't that troubleshot?
It's not troubleshot. It's not troubleshot.
Troubleshoot?
I don't know. Let us know if you think it's troubleshoot or troubleshot. Troubleshooted. Troubleshot. Anyway, so Barry's going to tell you more about how Corey figured out where the problem was with the 12 volt.
All right, take the wheel.
Okay.
Hey, don't mind me if I don't look at you while I'm driving.
He's driving.
So I asked Corey, I said, how do you find a short in the walls? Because they had tested all of the fixtures, they disconnected the fixtures, still a short with everything. So it had to be the wiring in the walls. I said, well, how did you troubleshoot it? He said, well, I cut things in half. I go from one point to another and I test the continuity. And if it's still shorting, I cut that distance in half again. And he said, but how do you do that? He says, I take the rivets out and I pull the walls out. And then he says, then I have access to all the wiring. And he said, that's the process you use. You cut the distance in half, you test it. If it's still shorted, then you know it's still closer to the electrical, the
affected
fuse box.
Oh, the fuse
thing. And that's how I did it. And I'm like, that's genius. But more importantly, what I thought was cool that he took the walls out, the aluminum panels. I'm like, I might have to try that.
No.
I got a rivet gun.
Nope, not going to try that. Hey, he took out a panel at the foot of the bed, and he took out the cabinet at the foot of the bed, and he said, He said, oh yeah, this was all taken apart. And you would not know it. It's like, obviously, of course, that's what they do, is everything is put back exactly the way it was before. I never would have known. He could have been like, yeah, I just fixed it. And I'd been like, cool, that's magic.
But what he did do is, I asked him, I said, did you actually find the short? He said, no. He says, I just found this section. He says, all I did was I bypassed that area with new wiring. He just ran new wiring, drilled new holes into the ribs for the support, and just ran it and fixed it.
Yeah, because there's no need to actually find the short. You just
cut it
gotta go around it.
Cut it out, yeah.
Just gotta go around it, because it's in that wire somewhere, but it doesn't matter where. You just gotta go around it. So that was really pretty smart and pretty great. So there's that. So he did a great job. We're really happy.
Recording? Testing 1, 2, 3. Look, Mom, no hands.
Ah!
All right. What are you doing?
Just adjusting the camera.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to do a comparison with a car dealership and the Airstream Service Center, because I think it's a good comparison. In my experience, when I've gone to a car dealer for my truck, you make the appointment, you hand the keys over to the service manager. You go sit in the waiting room for hours upon hours. You go up and say, is there any updates? I don't know, let me check with the technician. You might or might not hear back from them. At the end of the day, they'll come back and say, okay, Mr. Miller, it's fixed. Here's your paperwork. Go to the cashier and get your keys. Like, no interaction. Now, let's compare that to Airstream. You go to Airstream, you talk to the service manager for them to write down the errors, the issues. They take it to the technician. At that point, you no longer deal with anybody else except for the service technician, which is absolutely the best scenario. We got to explain to him what we saw the problem as. We got to walk through the Airstream with it. He acknowledged it. He made some comments. He made some notes. And then he says, all right, come back later this afternoon, and I'll show you what I did. And sure enough, 3:30 in the afternoon, 3 o'clock, he comes back. Let's go to the bay and let's look at your Airstream. He walked us through everything he did and how he did it, and he answered any and every question we had. And he handed us the paperwork and said, that's it, you're done. There was no in-between service center manager, or whatever you call them, people that don't know what happened, and you don't get all the information. So anyway, that's a good comparison, I thought. So I'm done. I have to drive now.
Okay. Yeah. So I would agree. I think it was a really good experience. I mean, it was probably the best case scenario, and because we didn't really know exactly how it was going to go down, and we're just more accustomed to service for cars, where it's always a big mystery what was done, and sometimes I think it's purposeful. Also, we've just heard terrible stories about people with all different brands of RVs bringing them to a dealer for warranty service or even non-warranty service, where they can be there for months. We have one friend who has a brand new RV and his refrigerator doesn't cool. The light turns on, does not cool. So the dealer has his RV, his brand new RV right now, and they're just like waiting for a part, and you know, he has no idea. They don't necessarily communicate or anything. So this was just so great. I can't say enough good stuff about it. So, wrapping this all up, what should you do? If you have an Airstream and you have the ability to do so, absolutely go to Jackson Center. If you have a really good service department at your dealer, then that's great. You're very lucky. If you're not comfortable with it and you can go, you should go. It was great. It was wonderful.
It was a good experience.
Yeah. Also, what you should do is don't sit in the lobby of the service center all day long. There's stuff to do. You can go out. There are little towns out there that have all kinds of wonderful things to do. Quirky museums, beautiful historic houses that you can walk through, beautiful architecture, really good food. explore the area. Go visit small businesses. You won't be sorry. So one last thing that I almost forgot. So there's this new, I don't know how new it is, but I don't know if you guys have heard of this company or concept. It's called AutoCamp. And basically what they're doing is they're setting up campgrounds, special campgrounds, sort of glamping campgrounds near major national parks and attractions. There's going to be like Zion and Yosemite and a few others. But Airstream has some kind of an interest in it. We're not exactly sure to the degree, but they're providing trailers that I guess AutoCamp is going to outfit the entire interior. And you can go to the AutoCamp website to see some of the photos of the interiors. But basically, we saw dozens of these AutoCamp trailers, and I'll show you some pictures. They have a regular door handle and a hotel-style card reader on the door. They don't have any windows on the utility side. Some say that's for privacy because they're going to line up the trailers. They don't have any awnings, and none of the windows are tinted. And they have no storage bays. None at all.
Exterior.
On the exterior. So it was very interesting. So I'll put some more pictures out on our Facebook group. So if you want to go out and look at that, it's kind of interesting. But the whole idea behind AutoCamp is they're going to have cabins, tents, the Airstreams that are sort of glampy on the inside. They're going to do patios. It's supposed to be sort of like a resort. But kind of interesting that I just throw that in really quickly. So there is our story of taking our trailer to what Airstream is called the mothership, or the service center in Jackson Center. If you like this video, and I know you did, I do, and you do too, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Why not? And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe, and hit the bell. If you hit the bell, you'll get a notification that our new video is available to watch, and you'll get to watch it right away, which would be really great, right?
It would be awesome.
It would be awesome. Anyway, as always, I want to say thanks for being our guest in the Tremor on the way home. See you guys.